Hi guys, Dave here. Today we're out going to take a walk around of our Great Plains TurboMax chisel. So this is a vertical tillage machine. So we're just going to take a quick walk around, show you some features of this machine and why this is beneficial and the machine for you. First of all, we're going to have a look at the front drawbar. So this is a trailing unit, and the unit we're looking at is a rigid machine. So this is a fixed 15-foot machine. You can get them in folding machines as well, depending on the width, working width and travel width that you need to work with. So there's a few different options there that we can pick from. So on the front here, we have a hydraulic ram. So this is purely just to be able to level the machine up as well. So when you're working the discs and all your harrows, you want the machine to be nice and level to give you the best possible finish. So hydraulically able to level this machine makes it very quick and easy, so get the perfect finish that you need. Moving on from here, we've got a nice big spring on the front of the machine. So the purpose of this machine is allow the machine to flex and move. So when you do contouring and traveling over the ground, this gives you very good tension to keep down pressure on either your front or rear discs on the machine, just to give you a really good consistent working depth and finish throughout the machine. Up here as well, so standard on all of your Great Plains TurboMax, we've got a weight pack on the machine as well. So these weights come standard on the machine just to give you really good weight for down pressure in hard conditions, but they are able to be removed as well. So if you're in easier conditions and you don't want all of the weight on the machine, these are able to be removed just to make it a little bit lighter and easier to tow as well if you need. One of the benefits of this vertical tillage machine, so these are what they call turbo disc coulters on the front. So they're fluted discs. So these help in chopping up any residue that's on your surface, but also give you the vertical lift as well with your soil. So your traditional plows, speed tillers, offset discs that you could be using at the moment will have that curved disc, and they'll invert the soil and push the soil sort of horizontally, which can create your hard pan or plow pans in the soil and get the density layers in the soil. So the way that this machine works is to reduce that, any density layers, or reducing the plow pan that you could get through the paddocks with all the traditional horizontal movement that you could have with other machines in the market. So how this machine works is it's fluted. So it's got like spades on the disc vertically. So you can see on here, when you're actually entering the soil, your spade is vertical down to the soil. So this gives you really good action or into the ground. So it's very easy to penetrate, cut up any residue that's on the surface, and make it a lot easier to penetrate the ground at the depth that you're trying to work it at. And you can see as the disc spins around, it comes up parallel with the surface just to help lift and give you that vertical lift of the soil movement, and not be moving it horizontal through the ground. So that's how it works really easily to stop that plow pan or hard pack through the soil. So we've got 7.5-inch spacings between each disc, with your second disc trailing through the middle. So they'll work in the middle. So your distance between your discs are around 3 3/4 inch. So it gives you really good cut with any residue on the surface, and also gives you really good lift with your soil to get airflow or to help water penetrate the ground without actually moving that soil horizontally, reducing any sort of moisture loss or carbon loss through your soil. So just remember, when at speed, this is where it's going to be beneficial. So you really need to be traveling at 10 to 15k an hour to really get good soil movement and vertical lift of the soil, to get optimum performance out of the machine. Ideally, you want to be at that higher end, around 15k an hour, to get this to perform at its best. Moving on round from here, so after your vertical disc, your turbo disc at the front, we do have a rotary harrow at the back. So these will spin as you're pulling it through the ground to give you a really good finish and crumbling effect of the soil, so you don't have big clumps left as well, and leveling after all your discs have been through. So there's 3 sets on this machine, but your rotary harrow helps level the ground out. And then your rear roller on the back can work in 2 different ways. So this is just to help crumble up any clumps that you might have when it's spinning. So benefit of this roller on the back. So we've got a little arrow here which points in the direction of travel. So when it's in that forward direction, it's going to help crumble the soil up to give you a better finish. If you're wanting it to have a little bit more pressure, push a bit more pack down on the ground to give it a little bit more compaction, you can actually take this roller off, turn it in reverse, bolt it back on the frame here, and that will give you a little bit more down pressure to pack the ground down a little bit harder if that's what you need. Another benefit on the back here is the down pressure tension on your springs. So you can change hydraulically the amount of weight that you want to push on this rear roller, but you can adjust this spring tension on the back as well, just to get the really good performance depending on the soil condition that you're working in and how you want the finish to be in the paddock. So you can see around here, we've got different sections. So we've got 3 different sections on the back here, giving us 6 different spring tension loads. So every roller on the back here has the right amount of tension and allows it to move around independently on different sort of contours or different levels. We can probably see in the back, all the discs are lined up horizontally through the machine. If you're looking through, the center disc will sort of be right in the middle of the rear disc set through here, just to give you that really good residue cut. So they're only just over 3 inches in length if you're looking for that residue performance before you're going to run through with a seeder. So a lot of seeders out there which are sort of ripper or tined machines. This is very beneficial at chopping up that residue to get your tine machines through this. They're not going to block up for you as well. Another really good benefit of in between your disc rotors as well, there is scrapers in there as well on the back, just to keep all those vertical tillers. So you can see this one's been through, the soil's a little bit sticky, a little bit wet today, but it's kept it nice and clean just to get really good penetration to the depth that you need to work it at, and keeps all that mud nice and clear from the machine. You can see up on here, so there's your hydraulic rams just for lifting the machine. Depth control I'll show you at the front in a minute, but these are just to lift the machine for travel and get it up out of the ground. So 2 cylinders on each side and 4 transport wheels, just to give you not too much compaction with your disc moving through after the tyres have been over it. A really good feature on this machine, all your TurboMax machines, so they are a true vertical till machine, so your discs are 100% straight up and down with no angle on them whatsoever. But you can move this machine to have it offset on it as well. So this is hydraulically done, so you can do it on the go when you're using this machine. So as you can see at the moment it's on 0, so that's your 0 degree angle, but you can move it all the way up into a 6 degree angle. So the benefit of that 6 degree angle, so if you're going through a paddock with a few ruts through water erosion or planting, whatever you want to be, you can make this a little bit more aggressive to move more soil and help level it out. So easily done hydraulically, just change it up to a 6 degree angle, which will move your gangs and give you just a cross section, and that'll be moving more soil across to help level or take out any tracks that you've been through the paddock. Over here, this is just your depth control. Very easy to use, so you can set this up. So before you take it out in the paddock, you can set this up for a 0, so you know where 0 is, and then every turn that you put on this is a 1/4 of an inch deeper. So winding it in clockwise will make it a little bit shallower, so every turn it'll be 1/4 of an inch shallower. Anti-clockwise will make it every turn is a 1/4 of an inch deeper. So very easy to set up with your depth control, just turning the dial around. So it's just a little activator hydraulic switch up the top here, so when it lowers down to the stopper here on the back, that it won't lower anymore to the ground, so it's always going to lower to that same position every time. So very easy to use. Hydraulic, just a manual jack stand in the front as well when you're taking it off the machine, just to connect it, makes it very easy when you're coming back to connect as well. That's it for our walk around of the TurboMax, specifically the TurboMax 1500. All of our TurboMax machines have the same working principle as this, just different working widths and capabilities. If you want any more information on this machine, or if you have any questions about vertical tillage, please reach out, leave us a detail in the comments below, and we'll be happy to help you out.